Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Ex Libris Gaming. In this episode I will talk about a game that I have seen in the form of a pre-campaign prototype, a game that will be soon on Kickstarter. The game is called Restart and the producer is Teetotum Game Studios, which also has produced the game Age of Rome. I've had the chance to see the pre-campaign prototype of Restart and play the game with none other than the designers themselves in the offices of Teetotum Games, which are in the city of Ioannina in Greece. Well, the game certainly looks great, lots of high quality components and the most impressive player boards I've seen in a game so far. If you watched one of the unboxing videos, I'll be sure to have a couple of links in the description. You know what I mean, especially considering the player boards. Well, if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Go watch them. Okay, the main theme of the game is time travel. We take on the roles of time travelers and we travel in various moments in time, not just the past, maybe the present too, trying to alter things that went wrong sometime in the timeline, and our main goal, at least in the first mode of the game, is to ensure the survival of humanity in a pandemic-stricken future. The game is not cooperative. The time travelers don't work together. Instead, they compete to get the job done better than the other, and of course accumulating victory points, and there can only be one winner. The basic mechanic of the game is to manipulate the placement of cards on the board. It's a modular, let's say, board consisting of cards of various colors. The board represents the time-space, and what we have to do is match the cards on the board to patterns that we have on our board, and this is the way we score points and we gain fragments which we use to advance the levels of our abilities. And this means when we level up, of course, our basic actions become more effective and give us various other bonuses, points, more income and stuff like that. Of course, this is not the only way to score points. There are research tracks, resources that are worth points, and cards that can also score points. The main resource of the game is time. You spend time to validate the patterns on the board, and you spend time to study. And by studying means to place cards, to use cards on your player board to benefit from their abilities. One of the many interesting mechanics of the game is the paradox. Each time traveler has also a version of him in the past. Exactly, it's his or her younger self. And the two figures, your adult self and your younger self, are on the board and they can never meet because that's paradox. Also, you can share the same space with another adult time traveler. So there's a kind of strategy here, placing where you will place your younger self, where you will place your time traveler each round, has an impact on where other players can place theirs. There are lots of events in the cards, and the flavor text is also very nice. And these cards provide events, extra events that can be activated when you play the cards. So this is another way to gain benefits, resources, points, or levels. And its own character has its own unique ability, but the players, there's always a cost, but the players have to adapt to their play so as to benefit from that ability. I would say the abilities of the characters are quite well balanced. I haven't seen. Maybe there is, but I haven't seen the game. And a character, an overpowered character or stuff like that. Everyone has its own ability, but they're more or less balanced. Okay, the gameplay itself is simple and it is very easy to learn and explain to other gamers. I was able to start playing the game after just about half an hour of explaining something like that. The symbols they are used in on the boards, the cards and stuff are very clear and intuitive. After the initial explanation of the symbols, I never felt the need to look up the reference sheet and see what its symbol stands for. It was quite apparent once I got to know them and see what they do. Of course, the simple gameplay doesn't mean that there's no strategic depth or tactical whatever depth to the game. On the contrary, the players have to think and plan carefully their actions, and they have to manage their hand, their resources and their abilities so as to be able to keep a steady production of resources and a steady matching of patterns which score points, and generally to progress in the various point tracks. Of course, there is some player interaction too, because as I've said, what each player does to the board is common, affects other players too. So there's no single way to win points, and of course even your best plan can be ruined by what other players will do on the board. But that said, there is no single way. There's not an optimal, let's say, engine, because engine building is, I'd say, it's the main part, kind of the main part of the game. But there's not a single optimal way to produce and to produce points or income or whatever. There are many ways to win points, and that of course helps replayability and balance, and tremendously helps to keep the game exciting for new players as well as advanced players. I mean, there's no serious advantage to an experienced player that I mean, an experienced player of course is an experienced player, but it's not what we have seen usually seen in other games with engines and stuff like that. The players who know have played, they're experienced and they know what they've got to do, they do it, and the others just struggle, and after a while it's not meaningful. In this game, no matter how bad you're at engine building or resource management, there's always a way to do something meaningful and win points and be competitive to the end of the game. The replayability is great. There are so many different cards, events, abilities, combinations of cards, and on top of this there are 4 modes in the game. With each mode has the modes have varying degrees of luck, strategy, duration, and from what I've learned, there will also be a way to link all the separate modes, let's say scenarios, maybe a better word, to link them together and make a campaign, and a campaign that will tell a story, obviously. Okay, and of course there are also, I forgot to mention that there were extra gadgets, special cards, and these enhance variability and replayability, of course. Okay, if you watch my videos, you know that at heart I'm a wargamer, and I play some other games as well. But Restart is one of these games that I really liked, and I will be adding it to my collection. I will back it on Kickstarter when it's October 8th. No, I'm not mistaken, it's October 8th, so keep an eye out for it. And it's one of the few games that I have decided that I will get back, so that must mean something. Okay, before closing this video, two more short points. The game will also have a solo mode. I am a solo gamer as well, so you can enjoy it, and even if you don't have a regular gaming group. And the second point is that they have provided nicely sculpted miniatures for both the adult self of your character and the younger self of your character. And this is very nice move. They could just provide meeples or something like that, but they didn't. They went all the way to produce miniatures for the players to use, and that shows how much they love gaming and the attention they pay to the detail. Okay, one last thing. Those lucky of you who will be attending Essen, the guys Teetotum Game Studios will be at Essen showcasing both Restart and their older game Age of Rome. So if you are I envy you, one of the guys that will be at Essen, keep an eye out for Teetotum Games and go and say hi and have a look at their games. Maybe you'll find your next game. Okay, that's all. Let me thank the designer Sergey for showing me the game and playing it with me. I think it's totally worth considering to back it. That's all. See you in the next.